Hi guys, I have a new interview for you with a caster, it's Philly, with a player, it's TaKeTV, and ESL, who's an admin for the ESL, and we're gonna start with the caster. What does he think about a player in general? So Philly, what do you think?
I think the most important thing about a player is 2 times of attraction. It's like how he plays and what he looks like. If there's a player who's like totally good but not looking like cool, like I don't know. Can we say it? Actually, Naniva. He's normally he's not as attractive, so many people didn't like him. But with TaKeTV, it's much better. But he plays Terran, so he can't be that attractive to me when it comes to playing. But because he's so attractive in real life, it's pretty alright. It's damn alright. Yeah, that's what I think of what matters as a player.
Okay, our first answer, and well, the next guy is a player, it's TaKeTV. What do you think about admins, and well, do you like them?
Well, as Philly said, there's 2 types of admins that I like, and if they're attractive or not. But no, seriously though, admins have to make like the right decision, and usually in the player's eyes, it's always going to go wrong for somebody. So admins play a pretty hard role. I mean, they're always going to be hated by one side of the argument, but overall, I think admins do a pretty good job, and it's a pretty thankless job. I mean, if an admin makes a good call, like who says he made a good call? The guy who the decision went in favor of is going to say that guy made a good call, whereas everybody else, he's going to pick up haters along the way, never lovers. So yeah, I think they have a tough job.
Okay, well, we have one admin here around on the Friday night game in Hanover, ESL. And what do you think about the players? Can you work with them?
The most players are okay, but sometimes I got some problems. Naniba. Yeah.
Do you have some example for us?
It is too late to play at 21. Wow, war der Scheiße. No.
Okay, well, fine.
But in general, it's a little bit stressful sometimes.
Okay, thank you. Well, what's the most annoying thing in a player,
Yeah. When players flaming each other or the admins because nothing. Yeah. I think they are searching all times problems where are nothing, where no problems.
Well, oh, don't be afraid. But what was the most annoying flame you ever got? Like, what did they say?
Hard to say. I don't know.
Did you ever get any flames?
Often, very often. But from the same players every time.
Any names?
No. I said enough names already.
Yeah. Okay, only one, but I think it's enough. For the next guy we have, it's a caster again, it's Philly. So, what's the most annoying thing in a player?
There are 2 things again, but this time completely different. One thing is turtle style. I hate it when they like to play slow, the players. I think macro can be fascinating, and you can mention it as a caster, but it's way more difficult to wow people if they don't do any good things that are obvious. Like in WC3 there always were surrounds and stuff, and now it's like drops or force fields, and that happens a lot. I'm happy if there's nothing happening. I don't think that it can be one of the best games ever if they just macro. And second thing is players whining about me lagging when it's not actually my mistake or something, because I'm sitting in the studio, and so I can't do anything against lags or stuff. But I think it's kind of normal,
Well, let's ask the player what he thinks is the most annoying thing about the caster, huh?
Okay, when I'm waiting in a game and my game's ready to start and everybody's fine, the admin's there, me and the other player there, we're all like ready. And then there's like 5 casters there that all have a partner. and they're all like Russian, so I don't know what's going on. And I have to wait roughly 20 minutes for all of these partners to come. And then we start the game, and all 5 of them lag like shit. And then you're like, raus for out, or out in Russian. I don't know what that is, but I'll learn it. And none of them leave. You get one guy leave that's called Spider Monkey Man, but that's pretty much it. And that's a pretty annoying thing. Apart from that, when people do lag from the ESL studio, like no names mentioned, but yeah. Good camera. But yeah, and then I ask ESL, like, hey, you should fix that guy's PC. And they're like, oh, okay. And then Philly doesn't even know that there was a problem with his PC, even now. So, yeah, basically, the biggest problem is when casters don't leave when you ask them to. That's really infuriating.
What's the most annoying thing in admins? That's what I'm going to ask Eno, one of the admins of the ESL. So, Eno, what do you think? What's the most annoying thing?
Sometimes they're doing wrong decisions or coming too late. Doing not so a great job. But I think the most admins are okay.
Okay, thank you. With a big smile. There with a big smile. But Philly, when you're casting games, what's the most annoying thing in casters when you have like 4, 5, 6, 7 casters in one game and trying to cast the same game?
I actually don't have a problem with that, to be honest, because well, it's always like you've got like maybe hundreds of people or thousands of people. Everybody's like doing it mostly not for a living or not because it's their job, but in their free time. So everybody has got like people that that are watching and that want the games. So I can understand the people who complain, the players, but I think it's pretty understandable that the casters want to join games because otherwise they couldn't be casters. Guess what? Yeah. So I don't dislike other casters. No. Why would I?
Okay, that's a nice answer. I was sure the casters are the nicest guys anyway. But about the players, the Muslim. What is the most annoying thing in players? Do you have anything?
Can I name a few?
Oh yeah, please.
When you're against a player and they're delaying the game so much because something's wrong that's not really wrong, be it you had to regame and you were 20 seconds into the game because of some disconnect or something, and on a 4-player map we spawned cross positions and the game disconnected like 10 seconds in, and the player wanted the same positions again, so we had to remake 20 times until we got it. So that was a big waste of time, and it didn't make a difference anyway. He still lost. When players are whiny and want a default win before the game's even happened and the other player hasn't done anything wrong, that's pretty annoying too. And then when disconnects do actually happen and players do get default wins, even though they shouldn't. But that's just my opinion on that. Another thing, when players do interviews and they slander other players, even though that player's probably better than them, that's pretty annoying too. Like players have a lot of say in what they say. People tend to listen to it, no matter what. So yeah, players should be careful in what they say. You can ruin a guy's reputation by just saying one word in an interview. And I think a lot of the top players that are becoming top now that haven't been top in any other game previous need to be careful with how they act.
Do you think you're the best player in the ESL Pro Series?
That's a tough one. I think I'm one of the top 4. Now that Nanyo has left, I think I am top 4. But yeah, it's tough to say. If I win the ESL Pro Series, then I could sit on the rank 1 title until the next season.
Our last question. What's the biggest disadvantage for you on a live event? So we start with the caster this time, who has to do a lot of commentary live on an event.
The most annoying thing on live events is probably when the games are short and you're like on the way for 3 days, if we are in Berlin or Hamburg or Munich, and the game's just like 20 minutes for a best of 3, and then I'm around for 72 hours or something, and then the games just go so fast and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this? I didn't get any satisfaction out of those games, and I've been away from home for so long. This is so annoying, so please do longer games today.
Ben, you're the player today. So you had a lot of events so far. What's the biggest disadvantage for you on a live event?
If I meet a guy that I don't like, that can often make me a bit angry, and I tend to not play as well.
Anyone you want to mention?
No names in particular, but it's happened before. When you're actually playing, certain surroundings, nothing's going to feel the same, so it's very unusual. But when certain things that people are altering, such as the music, like even if you have a soundproof headset, people don't realize that the music actually moves the stage. And if nowadays when you have laser-sensitive mice, it actually shakes the stage. So I'm there trying to click like to save my life, really, for money's on the line, and it's just not happening. Also with lights and stuff in the face, you ask them to turn it down, and eventually you have to pause the games or whatever. Admins' decisions in real life too. Like, you think you can handle them online when it's just a name saying, no, it's not your call. But when you see them in real life and they're this big and they're telling you something that's totally wrong, yeah, you get pretty angry. I've had certain calls where a Chinese player called Luffy, yeah, my hands. A Chinese player called Luffy came and looked at my pause screen, and then went back to his screen. I had the lead and he saw that, and then he left the game. And the admin, who was Chinese, gave him the regame, even though that's exactly what he wanted, whereas it should have been a default win. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happens on LAN that you don't expect, and it's quite unneeded. But the things that I do like are when other players are nervous against you, and that's often a big help. So good.
Some bad pains in Ben's heart. But what about the player, about the admin, about ESL? What's the more, biggest disadvantage for you on a live event?
Technical problems. When everything runs fine before the event, but then the show starts and nothing works anymore. That's a little bit annoying.
Okay, thank you. That's it. Well, 4 questions and 12 answers, I think. Huh? We had overall. That's it.